Hi guys, welcome to Hello Friends Chemistry channel. My name is Uma Shankar. In this video we are going to discussing about the one of the new chapter is introduced. The chapter name is Biomolecules. So coming to the biomolecules, what is the definition of the biomolecules? So first of all, in living system, the basic units of the living system is cells. These cells is containing a different types of molecules. These certain molecules are the maintenance of the biological process in living organism. So in these biological molecules, it is these molecules containing a various function in the biological system. It means various function in the living system. So what is the definition of these biomolecules? So here these biomolecule is certain cells. It means cells is contain the living system is containing a cells. So these cells containing a molecules. These cells containing a molecules. In these molecules are different types of functions are given in the living organism. So living system in various functions in the living organism. So these nothing but cellular pool. These nothing but cellular pool. So the name suggested that the cellular pool is in the living system. The basic units of the living system is cells. In that cells is present in the different types of molecules. In these different types of molecules are various function is involved in the living organism. So that is nothing but the cellular pool. So coming to these molecules are again classified into two categories. So in these molecules are again classified into two categories. One is organic molecules and second one is inorganic molecules. So these are organic molecules and second this one is inorganic molecules. So these organic molecules are like examples of these organic molecules are proteins and carbohydrates, proteins, carbohydrates and nucleic acids. So these nothing but nucleic acid is nothing but RNA, DNA. So amino acids is also nothing but organic molecules. Amino acids is nothing but organic molecules. Amino acids and lipids. So these are the organic molecules. Now coming to the inorganic molecules, these inorganic molecules are minerals and water. So this is very important. Minerals and water. Out of these minerals again classified into two categories. So that is nothing but the 17 in essential in plants, and 24 essential in animals. So here these are the molecules are again classified into two categories. One is the organic molecules and inorganic molecules. These organic molecules is containing the carbon hydrogen molecules. So that the organic molecules are proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids and amino acids. So these nucleic acids are RNA, DNA. So these are the organic molecules. So inorganic molecules are minerals. So these minerals and mineral ions are these are the again classified into out of these minerals 17 is essential in plants and 24 is essential in animals. So these molecules are very essential role in biological process in living organism. So now coming to these organic molecules and inorganic molecules. So one more important methods, these proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids and amino acids is again classified. So the method is you have to understand this method. That method is if you have to consider a living tissue. If you have to consider a living tissue, living tissue. So this living tissue is gained, if this living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid, so what happened exactly? So in this living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid. So in this experiment, here these organic molecules like proteins, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids and amino acids or lipids are again classified in macro and micro biomolecules. So in this living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid. You have to consider here that experiment is like that. So this is the flask. It means this is nothing but a beaker. This is nothing but flask. Here this flask is present in the conical flask. I have to represent this conical flask is like that. Okay, friends. So what happened there exactly? In this living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid. Here in this bottom of this flask. Oh, so this is the cotton is nothing but this is the filtrate of this experiment. So this is the filter paper he is given in there. So in this living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid. So in this, out of this bottom part is acid soluble pool, and this top part is acid insoluble pool. So this is the one of the experiment is suggested that in the living tissue is dissolved. It means in the living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid. It means this is the beaker. It containing a conical flask. This conical flask is here. This is the filter paper is given in there. So in this living tissue is in trichloroacetic acid. What happened there in these are the two parts are separated. One is the acid soluble pool and another one is acid insoluble pool. In this acid soluble pool is suggested that when the molecules have molecular weight is the range of 80 to 800 Daltons. So here this acid soluble pool is suggested that when the molecules have molecular weight is 80 to 800 Daltons, it's nearly approximately this value is 1000 Daltons. Okay friends, 1000 the molecular weight of this acid soluble pool. So it means this acid soluble pool belongs to the molecules is nearly molecular weight is 80 to 800 Daltons. So coming to the acid insoluble pool, he suggested that molecules molecular weight more than 10,000 Daltons. Okay friends, so here this experiment, based upon this experiment, what happened there friends, here this is the acid soluble pool. In this acid soluble pool suggested that when the molecules have molecular weight is 80 to 800 Daltons, when this acid insoluble pool, the molecular weight of the molecules is more than 10,000 Daltons. So the examples of the acid insoluble pool and acid soluble pool. Here this acid insoluble pool is nothing but macro biomolecules. This nothing but macro biomolecules. So in this experiment, what happened there friends? Acid insoluble pools is nothing but the macro biomolecules. Here acid soluble pool is nothing but micro biomolecules. It's molecules. So the examples of the macro biomolecules is lipids and polysaccharides, and nucleic acids like RNA, DNA, and and lipids and proteins. Proteins is also macrobiomolecules. Proteins is also macrobiomolecules. So now the name suggested that lipids. So this is one more important point, friends. Lipids is a macrobiomolecule. So on the basis of this experiment, because of that, lipids is a hydrophobic in nature. So hydrophobic in nature in these lipids is the, so when this lipid tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid, what happened there, friends? In the lipids is a some types of membranes are present in there. So on that membranes, this nature of these lipids, the nature of these lipids is a macrobiomolecules, but in general cases lipids is the molecular weight of the lipids is approximately 800 Daltons. So in that molecular weights, depending upon the molecular weight, that particular molecules are again classified into two categories. One is the macrobiomolecules and microbiomolecules. In these microbiomolecules, this molecular weight of the microbiomolecules is nearly the range between the 80 to 800 Daltons. But in these macrobiomolecules, is the range of the molecular weight is more than 10,000 Daltons. So in that lipids is the molecular weight is 800 Daltons. But in this experiment, this is also called as macrobiomolecules. But in the depends upon the molecular weight, these lipids is a microbiomolecule. So this is one more important point. So finally, the conclusion of these biomolecules is on the basis of molecular weight. On the basis of molecular weight, again this is the biomolecules are classified into two categories. One is macrobiomolecules and another one is microbiomolecules. So these macrobiomolecules are examples is proteins and polysaccharides and RNA, DNA. That is nothing but the RNA, DNA is the nucleic acids, RNA, DNA. So in these microbiomolecules, his examples of the microbiomolecules is lipids. So on the basis of the molecular weight, these microbiomolecules example is lipids and monosaccharides and nucleotides. So these are the classification of the biomolecules. So first of all, I will explain the biomolecule introduction. So biomolecule definition is if a living organism, it means living system, the basic units of the living system is cells. That cells is containing a molecules, that molecules having a different types of functions in the organism. Living organism, that is nothing but the cellular pool. So in these molecules are again classified into two categories. One is the organic molecules and another one is the inorganic molecules. So these organic molecules are proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids and amino acids and lipids. So in these inorganic molecules are minerals and water. In that minerals are, about these minerals again classified into the 17 essential in plants and 24 essential in animals. So and the one more experiment, these organic molecules are again classified into micromolecules and macrobiomolecules. So in the living system, it means living tissue is gained in trichloroacetic acid. That experiments, these are the two separate pools. One is the acid insoluble pool and the second one is the acid soluble pool. In this acid insoluble pool, the molecular weight is more than 10,000 Daltons. So that type of molecules are also called as macrobiomolecules. Here, the acid soluble pool, the molecules suggested that it means the molecular weight is nearly the range of the 80 to 800 Daltons. So that molecules are microbiomolecules. So in these microbiomolecules are examples is monosaccharides and nucleotides. But here this is the macrobiomolecules are polysaccharides and nucleic acids and RNA, DNA. So one more point, lipids is a macrobiomolecules on the basis of this experiment. Because of that, this lipids is a hydrophobic in nature. It cannot dissolve in the this water of this trichloroacetic acid. But here this lipids is a microbiomolecules. Because of that, the weight of these lipids is nearly molecular weight is 800 Daltons. This is the approximate value of these lipids. Molecular weight is 800 Daltons. So this lipids is a molecular weight is 800 Daltons. So it is called as a microbiomolecules. So this is the introduction of the biomolecules. So in my next video I will discussing about the one more important biomolecule. The name suggested that biomolecule is carbohydrates. What is the classification of the carbohydrates and what is the various types of carbohydrates is discussing after later. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. Hello friends, chemistry channel. Thank you. Thanks for lot.